İyi günler, adım Benjamin. Ben bir Türkçe tercümanım ve ben Clearvoice'da çalışıyorum. To me, a good interpreter is someone who listens to more than what they hear, really understands the message that they're hearing, and someone who's able to convey that message as accurately as possible to someone else, as though they've heard it themselves. I think what motivates me to be a good interpreter is knowing that I'm helping somebody, helping them communicate in a way that they wouldn't otherwise ordinarily be able to allow them to speak and be understood, and just sort of be that fly on the wall that they need, and to know that I'm helping somebody at the end of the day. I speak 2 languages fluently, English and Turkish. I would like to say which is my native one, because I always say to people you should never try and unmix a cocktail once it's been mixed. I chose to become an interpreter because I felt as though I wanted to do something different, something that's not in an office, not in a checkout, and also first and foremost because I like to help people. It's very, very satisfying at the end of the day to think I've helped this many people today, I've helped them be understood when they wouldn't have been able to be understood before. It's something I'm very, very passionate about. My father actually used to interpret Turkish to English and vice versa, and I always used to enjoy hearing his tales about the work he'd been doing, and I thought I'd like to do that. I don't actually get to use my Turkish very much other than friends and family, so it's been quite refreshing and interesting for me to talk to people of other Turkish backgrounds, different dialects, and of course it goes without saying I've learned a lot of new words that I didn't know existed before. I think what I enjoy most about being an interpreter is never knowing who I'm going to be working with from one day to the next. But it's enabled me to understand the trials and tribulations that people have in everyday life, and it's opened my eyes up to things I don't think that I would have seen before, and it's something I really enjoy doing. Working for Clearvoice is great fun. I genuinely mean that. It's really enjoyable to work with the clients that they provide. It's really refreshing to hear sort of a charity trying to help people, giving people a platform to be understood and help them to communicate, and giving us that opportunity to do that. It's one I really enjoy. It's a big privilege. During this job I've learned that there's a different way of saying everything, and that it's important to understand that it's not just what someone's saying, but how they're saying it. Someone may be very, very angry or upset, they may not be articulating what they want to say in the right way, and I've learned that it's very important for me to understand that message, convey it in the best way and accurately. At the end of the day, what puts a smile on my face is knowing that I've helped somebody, I've helped them to communicate, and I've done something that's going to make them feel pleased. I've given them the opportunity to speak. To anybody who's never used an interpreter before, a few pointers from me. Always speak in first person, don't speak too quickly, articulate what you want to say in the clearest possible way, and note that sometimes it's difficult to interpret some things, and sometimes it's easier to interpret other things. I'd always say, give us the opportunity to translate exactly what you're saying in a timely manner, and God of all, don't interrupt us. Not only does this knock us off kilter, but it can also make the clients feel as though they're being spoken about, which of course is the last thing that we want. To me, the biggest benefit of working for an interpreting service is knowing that I'm doing a good job helping people who need it most, allowing them to translate and communicate what they need to say in the best possible way, and of course knowing I'm doing something positive and of course getting paid for it. What I value most about working for Clearvoice is knowing that the work that I predominantly do with asylum seekers is helping someone and contributing to the greater good. A lot of the people I speak to, they've been on long, treacherous journeys across the sea, and they have no idea what life is like in the UK. Knowing that I'm going to be speaking to somebody who doesn't speak English and who needs help and who genuinely just needs some assistance, that's very satisfying for me, knowing at the end of the day I've helped somebody understand a little better what life in England is like. It really is nice to work for an organisation, of course ultimately a charity, that's aligned with my ethos and my beliefs, it's aligned with my values. It's another thing that's also very important to me.